I do want to give a little word of warning, a little caution that my speech does involve a little bit of profanity and some bad language. A little bit. So for all the kids here, please sharpen your pencil, start taking notes. You're going to learn a lot of them. There's a lot going to happen. Okay, we shall begin now. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to witness the joyous union of Nehal Binani and Siddhant. I haven't actually written anything down, this is blank. Why am I lying to you? Here's what I'm going to say. Siddhant and I met a long time ago. It was the day that I was born, in fact. My mother saw me and she said, "Aww." And then my dad saw me and he said, "Aww." And then Siddhant saw me and went, "Oh, what is wrong with you people?" As my parents said before, Siddhant was born a grown-ass man. He was, have you seen the movie Benjamin Button? It's that, but he never got younger. He just continued being a grumpy old man as long as he could. If you see the footage of his delivery, he just pops out and goes, "Oh my god, what is this nonsense? Cut this cord, I want to go to law school. Come on, come on." Being Siddhant's brother was tough. It was tough being his brother. It was debate team, football team, top of his class all the time. Siddhant is the most intelligent and eloquent person in the room. Which room? Every room. He has a perspective and a point of view on everything. And my God, he will let you know what it is. He will tell you. You ask him, you tell him. But he's also someone that's never backed down from an argument. Like, he's just fearless when he goes into it, you know. Sometimes I get a little shy, like I don't know what's happening. But Siddhant will gab with the best of them, and most of the time he'll come out on top. Most people have like a philosophy of to each their own, to respect everyone's opinions. Siddhant's philosophy is, here's my 3-part analysis on why your opinion is dog shit. Why do you even open your mouth? Why do you do that? Well, don't even do that. Why? But I feel like what I've observed is over time, I feel like his cynicism has sort of faded away. And he's now actually like a bit of a softie. The fighting spirit is still there. The fighting spirit still remains. But I think now he fights more passionately about the ideas that he believes in, the things that he believes in, and more importantly, in the people that he believes in. Siddhant and I decided from a very early age that we were going to get a pet. We had decided it. We said if we find a puppy on the road, we're going to pick it up and bring it back home. It was decided. One day, we didn't find a puppy, but we found a kitten, and as planned, brought it back home. We yelled and screamed and pleaded, and finally my parents were like, okay, fine, we keep it. And I thought that was a big victory. I was like, wow, that was amazing. And Siddhant's eyes just went wide and said, let's do it again. So 1 month later, when my parents were out of town, Siddhant went out and brought another kitten back home. It's my second cat, Bounty. And now my parents were not very amused. In fact, they were livid. And they said that my mother went up to Siddhant and said, "Siddhant, what is this nonsense? We already have 1 cat, why do we need 2? And Siddhant looked at her, deep in her eyes, ice in his veins, Obi. And he said, "You already had 1 child, why did you have 2?
Yes, you're happy.
And my mother is the most intelligent human being I've ever met, and she was stunned. She had nothing to say. She couldn't do it. And then that was a very special moment for me, at least. Because that was the moment that I realized that my brother had now ascended into a legendary status. He had been goated, as the kids say nowadays. He had been goated. And I realized that he was one of the most unique human beings in the world. Because there could be no one else on this planet that could be as obnoxious as he is. But that was until I met Nehal. And let me tell you, from there, it gets crazy. It gets crazy out there. Nehal is by far one of the most impressive human beings I've ever met. She's wickedly intelligent, she's brimming with confidence, she sucks at playing board games, she's terrible, zero talent, anything you do, Shah's secret, but she's nice. And one of her very characteristic traits about Nehal is that she's hardcore, man. Nehal is hard as nails, you don't want to mess with Nehal. In fact, Nehal is so hardcore that 2 hours from now, you're going to find my dead body floating in the sea just because I made that board game joke. But what becomes very clear is if you ever hang out with Nehal, what you realize is that she has the biggest heart. And I don't know how, it's amazing how someone can have so much love and affection, not only for Siddhant, but for her family, for her friends, for cats, for plants. The list goes on. And Nehal is constantly just like giving the whole world a hug. And I'm very happy that you guys are together. I'm glad you guys met. You guys are very similar in the right ways, thankfully. I love you guys. Thank you so much.